Tabletop Spotlight, brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Hey everybody, I'm AdamHarry from Bella Souls with
Drake from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
We're back with another Tabletop Spotlight. Drake, what is this creepy looking game, man?
This is Letters from Whitechapel, published by Fantasy Flight Games. It's the revised edition. It's come out a little while ago.
Oh, okay.
They're still printing it. But it's basically this kind of murder mystery game where one player is playing as Jack the Ripper, everybody else is playing as detectives trying to catch him. It's kind of like Fury of Dracula. It's even set in the same kind of era.
Okay. It's Victorian England, kind of creepy. Jack the Ripper, obviously. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Same kind of blind movement.
Yeah, well, that sounds pretty cool. Let's go ahead and take a look inside the box. All right, Drake. Letters from Whitechapel, the revised edition.
Yes.
Cool. Let's go ahead and open this one on up, man.
Do you want to cut this one open?
Sure. I will do the honors on this one. And if I cut it open, I'll just blame you and we'll delete the video and start over or whatever.
Yeah, it's not like there's video evidence.
No, never. All right. Being very careful here. Boom. Nope, didn't get it.
Like a
there we go.
surgeon.
Like a surgeon. Like a Jack the Ripper type.
Oh.
I see what you did there. Boom.
I'm on to you, Adam.
Dun, dun, dun. I've got a secret idea. There's the back of the box while I'm doing that. So, as you can see here, pretty cool looking board.
Yeah, high detail, pretty big.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned, earlier that it's akin to the Dracula's...
Fury of Dracula.
Yeah, Fury of Dracula, thank you. The board looks very similar, only because it's the same kind of color palette.
Yeah, it's got
that brownish, yeah. And there's
parchment sepia.
Yeah. That's how you know it's the oldie times.
Some blue. Yeah,
it's sepia tones. It's
moldy.
oldie times. All right, there's what's in the box here. Ooh, these are cool.
So it looks like some player cards, like reminders.
Jack the Ripper. And there's actually stuff on the back too, which is pretty cool. So, I don't know. I guess these are different characters.
Yeah.
These are all different character cards? Okay, yeah, Jack the Ripper.
Those are reminders.
Okay, we've got Jack the Ripper. That was the here's the sergeant. He's got his own special rules.
And then we got the detective.
The detective is yellow.
And 3 patrolling constables.
Patrolling constable.
To fill out. I imagine, because it is variable, it's 2 to 6 players.
Oh, okay.
So I imagine that there's a kind of precedence or
yeah.
Priority is what
priority.
Priority
yeah.
for the non-murderer players. Like, all right, if there's only one sergeant, constable, and so on and so on.
Fair enough. And here's the rule book here. As you can see, this is an FFG game, so it's a little bit more complicated than.
Not terribly thick though.
No, it's not too bad. It's 24 pages.
It's got some substance.
Yeah, it's got some meat to it. It's got some meat on them bones. You're probably gonna want to read this for sure if you're gonna want to play the game. Obviously. So at least one of your players in the group will need to have read this just to play.
And then we got Jack's screen.
Ooh.
It's this privacy standee for the Ripsman himself.
So we've got, this is like the DM screen. Game Master, but it's Jack the Ripper screen.
Yeah, so he'll hide behind this. It looks like he can plot out his actions, plot out his path. This is just a condensed, kind of deep, fluff stripped away version of the game board.
And you can see here, it's pretty cool looking. It's got all the streets and everything like that. It's got different icons for Jack, the player. And on the flip side, it's got this super creepy looking board.
Yeah, super creepy.
Yeah, and it's nice because it actually does keep that friend that you have that tries to peek over your shoulder where you're playing. It locks the sides too. So, take that.
I think that looks like Punch Out, like cameos.
Okay.
For
the street constable and the sergeant.
People.
Yeah, probably.
Like the historical characters.
Inspector. They have names. So. Oh, in the back. So I guess you randomize.
That's cool.
That is pretty sweet. And of course, these are like Punch-Out tokens, like you mentioned, because it's an FFG game. And if you don't have tokens, I don't know what
then
you're
playing. Not really playing. Here's the game board.
Ooh,
that is thick. Okay,
I'm gonna move this box. We'll get to the game board in a second. We'll go through the rest of this real fast.
On that.
So we got like a score sheet here, which lots of gameplay. All the score sheets, very cool.
Okay. We got letters actually.
Ooh, creepy
so
letters.
You're wondering the letters from Whitechapel. These are.
That's why there's letters.
Yeah. So one side is artistic.
And then the actual kind of
scroll.
And again, it's
letters,
a sepia tone.
Yeah.
So it's old.
So it looks like it's something that Jack can choose to leave after each corpse.
Because taunting the cops is really why you kill people. No. What? Moving that over, you got some more wooden pegs. These are like two-sided. I bet this is some kind of like hidden thing. So you can see some of the white pegs have a red dot in the middle, but then the flip side, they're just more white dots. So it's probably clues or something like that.
I think actually these are people.
People.
So I know that
people
there
to be
are.
murdered. But they're
In addition to
hidden.
the players, there are other entities moving around the board. There
Right.
are the poor of Whitechapel, who Jack will be targeting, and just kind of regular bobbies on the beat, other policemen that are not controlled by players. And so they move around set patterns.
Yeah, which is this, you can kind of tell. Anyway, yeah. So they can be hidden too, though. Like, because they're just different. You may not know who the blue peg is or the green peg is, but anyway. Then you've got these. These are probably more playing pieces, obviously. So. And they're all wooden, pretty high quality stuff. Not plastic, which I'm kind of surprised.
I like the wood, though.
I like the wood, too.
It adds to the rustic feel. And we got these multicolored little plastic.
Yeah, those are part of the game.
These are just circles.
Okay, so that's everything in here. I like this vacuum tray as well. This is always a nice touch from the game because you can do stuff like that. Let's go ahead and put those back in real quick, and then I'll move this to the side, and we'll take a look at the big board.
Oh, I'm so excited. This looks so cool.
Yeah, this is actually one of the coolest boards, I think, that FFG has.
Sir Chester Cobblepot board games.
That's cool. They don't really print stuff on the back.
Yeah, you never.
This is a big old map of London, England,
Whitechapel District.
Yep.
And it fills the screen.
Wow, look at that. And then again, let's show off section by section here. We've got this section, which there's player pieces go there, obviously.
And spectacles.
And then you can just tell it's a giant map.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is historically accurate, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
I would bet you it is.
Yeah.
I have faith in them that they would do that.
I mean, it's pretty cool. They actually transcribed the whole thing.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
You can see it's got like
the detail on this is amazing.
Yeah, it's sketched out like an architect's pattern.
Yeah, you can actually make out individual buildings and stuff like that,
Yeah.
the streets and everything. Obviously the streets, but really cool. The individual buildings and everything is really cool.
So it's also divided into sectors, looks like.
Yeah. This is like A5 and then
locating
B11. I'm going to go there. It's probably important too because, again, if you look at Jack's board, these numbers all correspond. Yep. Number one. So, again, like you mentioned earlier, this is just a truncated version, no details, meat and potatoes version of this. It's really cool. So, this board is really impressive looking. And then, okay, just moving it on over. You can see there's the center of the city. There's just more city. And then these two sections here. We also have a countered things down here.
Yeah.
Which those are part of the game as far as like.
So I believe that this is probably keeping track. Actually, this is probably keeping track of his victims. Because I know that the goal of
it's timed is what I mean. Like yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta catch him before he kills everybody. Shockingly enough.
Yeah. And then
if everybody's dead,
probably turns.
Yeah.
Tracks down here.
But we'll take a look through the rules too as well. But yeah, it's a really cool looking map, really cool looking board. You can tell it's pretty thick.
Yeah. It folds up way easier than what
you would
did
expect.
when I took it out.
Cool. Well, let's pause real quick and we'll take a look at the rules. Okay, we've got the rulebook here. We're not going to go through how to play the game. This is a little bit more complicated than we have time to explain in a simple tabletop spotlight here.
Right.
But we want to show it off. It's actually really well done, in my opinion. The goal of the game, again, 5 players are playing detectives. Up to 5 players are playing detectives, and 1 player is playing Jack the Ripper. The goal of the game, pretty simple. Jack has to kill 5 victims, not players, but actual people, victims, and get back to his hideout within the allotted time. And the cops are just trying to stop him. So
capturing him or just blocking him off of his hideout. Which is cool. It's a cool thing. He has only a certain number of moves after he kills somebody to get back to his hideout. So, kind of a cool thing. Game mechanics wise, gameplay setup wise, it looks really cool. It's basically out here. This is everything you're getting in the box. This is how kind of a typical breakdown of sequence of play works and stuff like that. Again, not gonna go through all the rules, but the how to play section, you're probably gonna want to flip to this one quite a bit. Yeah. But there are 4 knights basically. And there's also a mechanic for those letters. He can actually leave them to draw people, kind of the cops to go check that area, to kind of the diversion thing. So it's pretty well done. Yeah.
If you've played Fury of Dracula, it's similar but not the same game.
Right, exactly. If you enjoy Fury of Dracula, you're more likely you'll enjoy this without feeling like you're playing it over.
Right. It is a different game. There's obviously no we won't talk about Fury of Dracula, but it's got some cool stuff in it, and again, just all the different ways to corner Jack off and catch him. So it's just really cool looking.
Which is actually it's interesting as well because if he only has certain moves to return back. So if you're noticing that you can like plot out this kind of circular pattern, if you figure out his hideout's probably in the middle of these, you can deduce that and figure it out. So as Jack, you have to be kind of cunning and.
Yeah, you've got to kill him back. So you've got only a limited amount of space and area to cover. So exactly, you can figure out where he's going and hopefully cut him off. But then he's got tools. He's got ways to get around that too. So very cool looking game. I love the atmosphere of this book.
Yeah,
too.
The aesthetic's really really nice. I also like the this kind of historical accuracy that they're putting forth. They have like specific dates.
Yeah.
Out of the textbook, they have like the actual legitimate names of these characters, of these detectives that you're playing as, and actually versions of the actual letters that were left in Whitechapel Police. Which
is kind of creepy, but I do appreciate the accuracy. And then, of course, the summary of the game. Very important to flip through that. Again, if you want to play this game, it's super fun looking. You definitely want to have somebody be the rules expert, at least go through the rule book and have a good idea.
Somebody to defer to.
Like, how does that work? Yeah, you're going to want that player to actually know the rules. He may not want to play Jack the Ripper first. Just want to throw that out there. You may want that player to be one of the detectives to help out. But really cool game, really cool rule book. Let's go ahead and hop out for a really quick recap. Cool. Well, that was Letters from Whitechapel, the revised edition.
Yes.
Which is really cool from Fantasy Flight Games. Let's go ahead and run the numbers real quick. Drake, what's this one going to run you?
$49.99.
Nice. That's not too bad.
No, not that bad at all.
It's pretty good. I mean, this is pretty high quality stuff for that price point. So, and it's FFG, so they've got a pretty good track record when it comes to board games, in my opinion.
Especially with decent sized stuff like this.
Oh yeah, very cool stuff. Again, if you kind of like that Victorian era kind of gothic horror, creepy, based on real life stuff.
Love it. 2 to 6 players. It's actually kind of on the larger end as far as games go. It's a good old party thing.
The playtime on this is about an hour, maybe a little bit more.
Only about an hour because it's limited night-wise.
Yeah.
Capped to this many turns.
Yep.
There's leeway as far as how long it actually takes you to get through those turns.
Sure.
But otherwise, it's actually relatively short compared to some other games that take 6 players.
Sure. So and obviously, subject matter, you're probably 14 and up with this one. So just, if you're a parent, keep that in mind. But yeah, this is definitely easy. I could definitely see this slipping into a gaming rotation for a board game night or whatever. So very cool game.
It's really good.
Cool. Well, I'm AdamHarry from Bell Souls.
I'm Drake from Dragons Are Comics and Fantasy.
And this has been another Tabletop Spotlight. Thanks again for watching. Tabletop Spotlight brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Thanks for watching.